The Transmutation update is here at last, and don't worry, I'm going to walk you through it. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Rise of Kingdoms gameplay episode from your very own Shappy Gaming. Today, we are going to be covering the brand new Transmutation system that is coming to Rise of Kingdoms. It's in-game now, and I'm sure you already have a bunch of these Transmutation stones and have no idea how to use them. So today, we're going to be walking through how to use these Transmutation stones, how to get some more, and what things you might want to watch out for during the process. So, with that, let's dive into it, shall we? First things first, what are Transmutation stones? Transmutation stones are the foundational piece that you need in order to upgrade any piece of a legendary armament. Now, it is very clear here. It needs to be an inscribed legendary armament. What does this mean? If you come into your armaments here, and you go, we're going to go to a commander and start there. You can find it other ways. But let's say we go over here and we have one that we like. So as you can see, we have alert, it's Olympia's Chorus Master, and it's inscribed. As we said earlier, it has to be inscribed. Well, I actually really like this piece, but there are some things that I might want to change. So if I click here, transmute, you'll notice a couple things. First, 10 out of 10. You can only transmute an armament 10 times. After that, you are completely stuck. So what does this mean? This means you need to be very careful how frequently you're transmuting a certain object. The reason I say that is I already went through this lovely process, and I have at least one piece over here that I've transmuted multiple times because I've been trying to get something decent. As you can see, 5 out of 10. There is a good chance that I end up not getting anything good with this piece at this point. And that's kind of a problem because, as you see, it is an inscribed legendary armament. So, back to the question at hand. How does all of this work? Well, if I click transmute here, you can see a couple things. First off, the cost for it right now is 5. Well, what if I unlock these? If you unlock them, the cost to transmute goes all the way down to 1. As you go through this process, if you lock certain ones, your cost goes up. So I locked 1 and went up to 3. I locked 2 and it goes up to 5. You can't go beyond that. You can't really lock all 3, which is totally fine because realistically you don't need to. But if I were to say lock this one and this one, my goal here is to get a third piece of archer. And I am actually going to go back and do this with that other piece because, again, I really need it to work. And let's show you guys exactly how this process works. So I'm back over here. I've got the iron wall, and I'm going to transmute it because none of these buffs are terribly good. But let's go through. Nothing is locked, and my cost is 1 transmutation stone. There we go. Transmuted. And you notice that I lost benefits, which isn't great. So something that you do want to see here is you can actually click replace. And when you click replace, you are changing the existing attributes of that armament. So what this means is that you don't necessarily have to change the buffs of the armament if you don't want to. You can just click X and you lose the transmuted attributes. Now I'm going to do it again. Let's see if we get anything good. Nothing good. And we're out of transmutation stones, which then brings me to the next question. Where do you get more transmutation stones? So let me go through and see if I can help with that. I guess I'm going to replace this because archer health is probably better than what I have right now. And maybe we'll give it to Boudica. Archer defense, archer health, and payback. Yeah, there you go. Place. So now my Boudica has a bunch of archer health. Now, how do I get more of these transmutation stones? There are a couple different ways to do that. So there's an event going on right this minute called Transmuting Treasures. And if you come into Transmuting Treasures here, you can get a bunch of these transmutation stones from these challenge quests. Note, there is only 5 days left at the time of recording this video, which means if you haven't finished this event, you probably should. And you can get these transmutation stones easily through here just by going through and completing quests. And if you want to do your transmutations, you can go through and do it the way that I already did. Alternatively, I think you can come in here, and if you have something that is transmutable, you can do it from your inventory as well. The other way, which is probably the most important way that you can get these transmutation stones, is by buying them. And you can buy them from the courier station. Come over here, you click the A button, and then you can buy them from in here. And this will refresh just about every week, as it does today. And the cost for these is kind of high, but honestly, I think it's fairly worth it. But what this means is, you now need these tokens more than ever. So if you're anything like me and you've been sitting around ignoring these dispatch quests every day because you're tired of getting things that you don't need, the time to stop that is now. Because you want to get as many armaments as you can so you can then go through and scrap them all. And if you're confused on how to scrap them all, I'm going to walk you through that just a sec. Auto team up. Let's use all these up. And we'll do that as well. Now, in order to recycle your armaments, you actually simply go to the Armaments tab, and you can click on any of them, really doesn't matter, and click Recycle. Now, you have the ability to multi-select and filter. So if you go through and you say Epic, multi-select, and I want to scrap that, I want to scrap that, and I'll scrap that, I want to scrap that, you can select as many as you want, and it will actually tell you how many coins that you need. This is probably the easiest and fastest way to do it, in my personal opinion. And I think it makes a lot of sense because you can just recycle in bulk and then you can buy out the shop. I do recommend you do this, but there is something else that I wanted to make sure I called out before we end the video. If you haven't already, do hit that subscribe button right over there, bottom right hand corner. Drop a like on the video if you're enjoying, but that's not what I'm trying to call out. If you already have an inscription, one thing you can actually do is if you come into your armaments and you have an inscription that you got, whether it's from KVK, or you managed to save up a ton of our armaments, recycled them, and managed to get the inscriptions from the shop, there are actually a couple of things that you really might want to take advantage of. So, as you can see, this inscription relates specifically to the legendary scroll. Let's say I were to go in here and I found a legendary scroll that had all of the buffs that I wanted, or at least one of them. And that buff that you really should be looking for is all damage, because all damage is one of, if not the best buff that you can get from an armament. Now, it doesn't matter what the other buffs are. What you can actually do is, let's say you had 1% all damage on any of these legendary scrolls. You could take your inscription, inscribe that scroll, and then you can lock the all damage buff and then just re-roll up to 10 times. And the odds that you end up getting something that you need, in addition to that all damage and your inscription, are really high. So this is absolutely what I would recommend if you are going through the process and you're like, I really want to build myself the perfect armaments, and you're like me and have these inscriptions sitting around and you're waiting for the right opportunity to do so. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed. This has been my entire breakdown of how the transmutation system works, where you can get the transmutation stones, and just some general tips as it comes to how you can ensure you are maximizing your transmutation stones and benefits. I hope that you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do be sure to hit that subscribe button right over there, bottom right hand corner, and hit the bell so you get notified when new episodes come out. I hope that you've enjoyed. If you have, drop a like, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you all. Shappy out.